Hey, it's Wednesday, the 4th of November, 2020. This is the Cannabis News on 420 Post, and I'm Rick Thompson. Let's get started. Well, the election is over, but the vote count continues. We may not know who won the presidential election yet, but we know who won the grainy vegetable election. Yeah, it's cannabis. In all, there were 5 states with cannabis proposals up for consideration, plus 2 measures to decriminalize mushrooms and such. Everything won last night. Let's run it down quickly, though. Arizona's Prop 207 for legalization won with 60% of the vote. Initiative 190 in Montana received 57% of the vote. Jersey voters said yes to legalization by a 67% vote. Topping that, South Dakota, where 69% of the voters said yeah, buddy, to their medical proposal, and 54% also said yeah, buddy, to their adult use cannabis proposal. And Mississippi won, but in a weird way. Voters were asked if they wanted to change the cannabis laws in their state. 68 said yes. Those yes voters were then asked which of 2 programs they preferred. 74% of them chose the full-bodied version drafted by the people instead of the skimpy one created by the legislature. Now that's a lot of numbers, but let's just evaluate for a moment. Mississippi says yes to medical at 68%. South Dakota, 69%? That's some crazy level of acceptance from some traditionally non-cannabis friendly states. Looking at the recreational voting, South Dakota 54%, Montana 57%, Arizona at 60%, Jersey at 67%. Those aren't squeaker contests. Those are solid wins. We won in Michigan with 63% medical and 56% recreational voting levels. Now, in Michigan, nearly every cannabis proposal favoring consumers passed on a local level. Colquhoun Township's business-driven ordinance allowing for unlimited cannabis businesses failed, which was predictable. But Northport's total ban on cannabis businesses also failed, which was a good result. The other 7 contests seemed to be successful, all of which empowered cannabis businesses in local communities. Big props go to Sam Pernick, who engineered 3 of the evening's winning ballot proposals. FYI, Ohio had 4 communities with cannabis proposals on the ballot, and all of them won too. Congratulations, all. Speaking of Ohio, they're finally going to expand their list of qualifying conditions to receive a medical marijuana card. Or they're going to pretend to do so anyway. Autism, anxiety, and opioid use disorder were all previously proposed for inclusion but were rejected by the state's governing board. The recommending panel previously wanted to include autism and anxiety, but that request was squashed by higher-ups in the state government, similar to the way autism was recommended for inclusion by our physicians panel in Michigan, but was then rejected by the LARA director at the time, Steve Arwood. The window to submit petitions in Ohio has been extended into December, and one can only hope that their leadership is more willing to be now progressive more than they were last time. Another quick note, Michael Thompson, Michigan's famous cannabis prisoner, has been given a parole board hearing on November 17th. Mr. Thompson is serving a ridiculous sentence for weapons charges related to a cannabis offense which happened decades ago. Celebrities from across America have used the hashtag #FreeMichaelThompson to show their support for his release. After an interview with myself and members of the Cannabis Caucus, Attorney General Dana Nessel wrote an impassioned letter to the governor asking her to issue clemency in this case. Now, the parole board hearing and the subsequent decision on his parole are necessary events before the governor can exercise her right to issue clemency. Now, we'll keep you posted on this story. Final story for today. Some of us have been waiting for THC-infused drinks to come to the market here in Michigan. Canada already launched a program of high-potency beverages. It's not going so well up there, according to Reuters. Common production challenges include short shelf life, maintaining a consistent taste, inconsistent potency, and the length of time it takes to achieve the desired high, according to one insider from Canada. There's also high production costs, expensive distribution, and a lack of dispensary infrastructure to intake and display the products. Now, that's a reference to cannabis shops without loading docks or refrigerators, which is the situation with a lot of Michigan cannabis establishments. The MRA regulations currently only allow shelf-stable products in Michigan stores, and that means nothing requiring refrigeration is allowed. And again, we'll quote Reuters here. Technical issues involving basic chemistry have also slowed bringing some of these THC-infused beverages to the market. because most cannabinoids are insoluble in water. To overcome that issue, companies use emulsions. But even if they can make an emulsion that gets the high-inducing cannabinoids to properly mix with the beverage, maintaining that mix itself is a challenge. Tests show some beverages can degrade in as little as a few days, leaving the THC that induces the desired effect stuck to the can liner, lowering the drink's potency. So Michigan, I think it's good that we're going to wait a little bit before we get THC beverages. Wait till the technology evolves properly. And that's it for the Cannabis News. I'm Rick Thompson on 420 Post. Thanks for listening. It's back to you, Mike.
Well, Rick, it's nice to know that this country can agree on something, right? It doesn't matter whether you're a red state or a blue state. They all want cannabis in some form or other. That's a fine thing, right?
I saw a lot of Illinois local ballot proposals, which were successful too. I think America's really turned the corner to a great degree on the attitude towards cannabis. I was interviewed by the Detroit Free Press this morning, and I told them all these national efforts that are successful oftentimes help encourage local communities in Michigan to adopt cannabis-friendly ordinances. Right now, it's only a small percentage of Michigan communities which allow businesses from the cannabis industry. And every time we have a success in Mississippi or Arizona or someplace else, it helps those local communities come to better decisions on these issues.